Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say you with attitude. Super duper morning show. We got a special guest joining us in the building from Fleming Waste Solutions. Got to say good morning to Ms. Junita Fleming. Good morning, Junita. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. So we have you here this morning, of course. For anyone that's been paying attention, I'm sure they've heard what's been going on with the company, Fleming Waste Solutions, with the situation of Romy, them having not been paid within the last 5 months, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, and it just basically blew up on social media. It blew up on the media. I had the current minister of Romy here on Friday. He explained a little bit about this, what he wants to do moving forward. Then I had the former minister of Romy, current MP. He was here yesterday. He gave his side of the story. But now I think it's good to have your side as well. So before we get into the whole situation and controversy, tell us a little bit about Fleming Waste Solutions. What are you guys all about?
Yes, of course. So Fleming Waste Solutions is a small, local, family-owned waste management company.
Mm-hmm.
We've been operating since 2018. So we offer excavator services, trucking services, we offload barges, and we also do both commercial and residential pressure washing services.
Mm-hmm.
And so we also offer technician services.
Okay.
So as it's been explained before, Mr. Fleming, my brother, he is a certified diesel technician, and so he has a level 1 CAT certificate and over 20 years of experience, not only operating, but also working and fixing these equipment.
Right.
So, yeah, that's us.
So where does the discrepancy start? Because from what I understand, there you have been doing these works, or the company has been doing these works since 2021, right? So basically, it has been the company, your brother, contracted per se to basically fix, and maintain the excavators that's on the landfill. So that has been established since 2021, right?
So basically I'll give a little backstory. In 2021, before 2021, actually, my brother was working with Romy actually on the landfill. He was already operating certain equipment.
Right,
stuff like
okay.
that. And then when the government received this equipment, they contacted him again. Hey, first it was like to transport from the port to the landfill, et cetera, et cetera. And then eventually it became a question of, because government had never owned equipment before, owned and operated, it's always been outsourced before that.
Right.
And so it came a question of, okay, well, can you now, because you also have whatever certificate, can you now come in and operate this equipment for us? Now, as it has been mentioned before, I think there's a lot of discrepancy between contract, no contract, etc.
Right.
So to say, what I want to explain is that we do have some works that are contracted.
Okay.
So we do have our excavator on the landfill that we have a contract for that.
Okay.
Yes. But we were also, because were already operating this equipment for the government-owned equipment, that is something that has not been contracted, but that we were told, okay, so it's between the whole budgeting this and that, between different administrations, this change, that change, etc. At the end of the day, the work is being not only solicited, but approved, and then as in, hey, can you come work, do this, etc., complete this job.
Right.
And then something I feel it's super, super important for us to clarify, this has never been a question of something under the table or it's some sort of conspiracy that we want, we're throwing a tantrum because now things are being done by the book and we don't like it. That's not it.
Okay.
We carry, sorry.
Now, so basically, like you mentioned, so the company has been working on the landfill before, operating and maintaining previous equipment. This new equipment was received, I think, through NRPB.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. This is a whole different type of breed of machine. Your brother is certified to operate and maintain them. So the task was given to him basically while he already had a contract for other works. So this was basically thrown in. It wasn't detailed to say, hey, this is also added, but here's the work. and once you complete it, submit your invoices, and you shall be paid.
Precisely.
So all of that has been since 2021 has been going perfect. Now we do have a new minister of Romy in there, and works has still been done and completed. So he's been paid, or the company has been paid in the past for these same similar works, even though now they're saying there has not been any legal contract.
Precisely.
So what happened then? So where did this whole breakdown happen? Because I believe it was mentioned that it's been since 5 months since.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to just, first of all, I wanted to say something that I think is important as well, because people are saying a lot of stuff, of course. My brother's a very passionate man, and so I would not necessarily have gone about it in the same way in terms of like the whole Facebook thing.
Right.
I'm not a fan of social media back and forth and stuff, but I am also not the person that is in the hot sun under the equipment fixing this, etc.,
Right.
you know. So how he chooses to express himself, you know, I can't necessarily judge that.
Right. Okay.
I would say, okay, we're not going to make things I don't think it's a question necessarily of making things personal, for example.
Or
exactly.
or politicize it. Yeah.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, when we sitting in meetings and you're saying, hey, yeah, we know, you know, for true, I ain't get paid yet. All right, cool. We can handle that. We're going to look into it. And then nothing happens. Like we have, you have the question of, the reason why we're not getting paid is because of a contract. But that's not true. And it cannot be true. And it cannot be on the other end of it of, it's the new system that's the issue as well. I'm so sorry. But if the issue was the new system that was just implemented in January, then why did we have on November 13, 2025, why did we have to block the dump for things that are not being paid?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So that predates this situation.
This whole new system, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And you found a way to pay us. Okay. All administration, everybody else is to blame. But at the end of the day, again, you paid us for almost 2 years. Continue to pay us.
Right.
If there was no legal basis, then as soon as you came into power, everything should have ceased.
Right.
You know what I mean?
True.
You continue to solicit our services. You continue to ask us for, as early as February, actually, we were contacted because the loader had an issue. Hey, can you do the diagnostic repair? I have emails. I have, you know what I mean? This is not. It's not under the table stuff, as I said.
And this is, like you said, in February, and the new system went into place
in
January. Okay.
So again, why are you asking us to work if you know as a ministry, we don't know how we're gonna pay these people?
Yeah.
Why are you, So
I remember when the minister was here on Friday, he did mention, though, when this new system was going to be put in place, they did send out messages to say that certain information now needs to be submitted by these companies. I'm not too sure if you remember that.
Yes.
Did that take place? Did the company, if that information was received, did you guys put whatever was asked of you?
It's so funny because there is no additional steps that we have to take as a contractor.
Right.
And there's basically what this new system has done, from what I understand by speaking to several different like public servants and people who are actually a part of that, is that this has digitized the process. Before everything was like hard copy, etc. and stuff, and it's digitized and it's there to sort of have a better traceability or tracking
paper trail or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay, so it shouldn't really have any technically
in
updating policies or any new documents that need to be submitted. Maybe the most is just maybe update your contact information at most, and that's it. Right. Okay.
But the document actually that will move things along, because it was said, okay, there's no legal basis. You either need to have a contract or an advice. The advice is not thing that come from Fleming.
It has to come from Romy. Right. True.
So why is it taking you and again, we've had conversations with people like, okay, so are we crazy? Because this advices have always been a thing. How long does it take to draft an advice?
Right.
You talk to several, even certain ministers, certain other ministers, and they tell you, that's a matter of a couple of days actually, that can be written in. So 5 months, the minister himself said that the new process is now a 90-day wait. 90 days was how long ago?
Right, true.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just, again, like, I find it to be very interesting to come, what we expected, what I would have loved, as much as it's okay, we understand that it seemed like it was a personal attack, etc., etc. But if this is the person that I'm dealing with, that I'm sitting across from, that's shaking my hand and telling me, I got you, we're going to handle this, we're going to do this thing the right way or whatever, and then you leave, and then you don't answer my messages.
Right.
But also, this thing of, we were shocked. We were shocked to hear about how hands-on the minister is as well, and how we have such clear communication. I have unanswered messages. Since January.
Yeah. Now, I do remember there was stated that there was a meeting that was held maybe at least last week or 2 weeks ago. What was said in that meeting and what was discussed or promised? And well, I guess nothing has been done since then.
Again, something that's interesting to us is this talk of this meeting. That meeting was held on the 28th of April, if I'm not mistaken. That was the Tuesday. And the minister, first of all, was not in that meeting. So I'm not sure who briefed him on what was said in the meeting. But payment was not even necessarily on the agenda for that. We were there to discuss this contract that has been taking so long to come to fruition, that we've been spoken about by this administration, you know, as well. And so before the meeting ended, I'm like, okay, wait, the question of payment now, you know, what's going on with that? And we were told, and I quote, I don't know. That was what was said about this payment thing.
Right.
So you're going on not only in public, but on the floor of Parliament telling people, hey, we're so shocked because we just spoke to Fleming. That's not true. We were so imagine now you're telling us, hey, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing that, and then you come to a point where you're 5 months in, I see fuel gone up again.
Yeah.
We have 4 different, shout out my team. I am so happy that we have hardworking people that continue to show up for us. The guys don't necessarily have to, you know what I mean? But they do, and they stick with us, and they're very understanding. But 5 months is ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So basically now moving forward, we've seen it, like I said, play out in the media. I know the minister was in Parliament yesterday. It was brought up again. Has there been any contact since? I mean, there's been nothing, no
one from the ministry has contacted us since this thing has happened. So again, this clear communication of which you're speaking of, where is it? To even say, hey, you know what? We dropped, and that's what we expected. Even you come saying, hey, we dropped the ball on this. Apologies, you know. And even if you rectify and say, you know, it wasn't cool to be public and stuff, but we saw that when we blocked the dump, we received payment, you know.
Things happen one time.
Yeah. And to clarify as well, because I have to review these things. I have to. And it's not, I want to be very clear. Fleming Waste Solutions has no affiliation to any political, anybody or anything. We do not care about that. You understand? We're just hardworking people that would like to be paid what we're due because we did the work. We showed up. We sent in our invoices that are itemized. Reports have been sent in. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, don't try to say that we're politicizing anything. We're not. Whatever, that's our business. Whatever internal issues as well, that's our business. My business is making sure that my workers show up, and they do. Yeah.
She's serious about this. St.Maarten came out, that's all your business. So
yes.
she's
oh yeah.
Yeah. So moving forward, I mean, besides getting paid for the 5 months owed, and of course moving forward that, you know, things are done in according to them legally, what else is the, you know, company seeking, is Fleming Solutions seeking moving forward?
Well, moving forward, which is why we want to be clear that we are also, we love what we do. You know, it's an honor for us to be able to serve the community, the people of St. Maarten, to be working on the landfill, and which is why even through payment we continue to work. Well, without payment, we continue to work. And so we are still open and willing to sit down and discuss a contract and to do things the right way. We want there to be a bid if there has to be, because we know we have the qualifications. We know that we have our experience. So again, we're pushing for that. Sit down with us, but then when you leave the table, continue the communication and be honest with the people, because they deserve it. Okay. We deserve it, and they do.
So in the meantime, is Fleming Solutions, is there any, I don't want to say like a protest, but have you halted any works at the landfill for now based on how things have been going so far? Have you still been, you know, doing some of the works?
We have continued to work. I know, like, again, it's easy for people to say, you know, you don't, but because they always say to government gonna always pay. you don't know when, but they're gonna always pay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so our guys are, again, they support us, they stay on, and we make sure that, you know, we do what we have to do. But yeah, for now, we're just hoping to get, you know, in contact with, for somebody to reach out to us then, let's say, from the ministry and say, hey, this is happening.
Okay.
It's coming.
All right.
Yeah.
So once again, just for persons that are listening, this is Fleming Waste Solutions. Basically, you know, we've seen it played out in social media, within Parliament, within the political arena, what's been going on. So I believe everybody should be up to date with the story. You guys have been asked, or you've been doing work on the landfill since 2021. You've been paid. Even when the new administration came in, you guys have been paid for the same work, even though it's being now mentioned that it hasn't been contracted. So things were fine all the time. It's only since January when basically you would say payment started to be delayed and communication also broke down as well.
Exactly.
And so when did you find out that you have the reason why you haven't been paid for these 5 months? Did you find out the same way that everyone else found out, because there's no contract, it's not legal?
Basically.
Or has this been...
Basically, because that term is never even told to us. Like,
Okay.
as in terms of like, oh, well, you know, it's because you don't have a contract that this is happening.
Right.
We know that there are delays. We always know that there have always been delays. But again,
But then you notice, okay, it's been 2 months, 3 months.
Exactly.
Right,
For me,
okay.
it's the amount of time.
Yeah.
You telling us the reasoning that it's delayed is the contract in February. Why? Okay. But then your 90 days pass
Yeah.
at a certain point in time. You're like, okay, but what is this?
Right.
And then also you have, I think the one thing that we heard was that last week, after this whole thing blew up, that the advice is in the works for it to take. So what a guy 5 months?
Right.
You know, I don't know. It's not okay.
Okay.
It's not okay.
And like you mentioned, since then you haven't been contacted by the minister or the ministry.
We have not been contacted by the minister or the ministry.
Interesting.
Especially not regarding payments.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, like I said, you know, we heard it from the current minister. We heard from the former minister. And now we're hearing it from you as well. Basically, your point of view. And like you said, you don't want it to be politicized. You didn't want it to become what it is right now. However, like you said, your brother is very passionate and he had his way of expressing. And I could understand, you know, because it's not only for his company, but he has employees to pay.
Exactly.
They have families that they have to take care of. So he just wants to make sure, hey, what is happening? What can we expect moving forward? And how can we get this behind us? So basically everything could continue as it was.
Precisely.
Okay. All right. Anything else you would like to add?
I think I want to just say, for, what could I say to end it off? I want to say that for the people, for the public of St. Maarten, things you have to use wisdom, of course, when you see certain things happening, certain things played out, and when you have inconsistencies in a story, just take back before you draw a conclusion, and you try to put yourself in that person's shoes as well, and understanding. It's easy for them to say, but just stop paying. Why would you start working with the government for that? Like, you don't know what is not only being said, behind closed doors, let's say, for us to then after look like we're crazy. Fleming Waste Solutions, we are not entitled. We're just a hardworking company who put our trust, have a good faith relationship, and just expected that the government would follow through and pay us what we're due.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us today on the Super Duper Morning Show and getting your story across from your point of view. And we appreciate it, and hopefully a solution is brought forward. That's rather sooner than later, and moving forward, that things are done the way how it's supposed to be done according to the minister, but also in fairness with what you guys have been doing over the past couple of months, and actually since 2021 and beyond. All right. Absolutely. So let's hope cooler heads meet in the middle. Yes. They come with their I don't want to call it negotiations, but they have what they want. You have your say. Put everything on paper, and then we come to an agreement, and let's move forward and get this behind us.
For sure.
And of course, get paid.
And get paid, exactly. To say,
get paid as well.
I want to say one last thing actually, is that, again, make it clear that we fully support everything going through the right channels and everything being done by the book.
Right.
Nothing shady, none of that other extra stuff.
All you just ask for is communication.
Communication.
That's
Thank
that's
you.
the main thing that usually allows these things to break down. So, so communication, whether it's from the minister, whether it's from the ministry, but at least let's have some type of dialogue so we know how things are going, how we're moving, and what to expect. All right.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you again,
Thank you.
much success. And let's hope everything comes to amicable agreement. Before you leave, I have one more question for you. Tiebreak Tuesday question of the day: how do you usually greet persons? A, handshake; B, hug; C, wave; or D, a boops up or daps?
Ooh, I think it depends on the person.
Depends on the person, but
Definitely
usually,
depends.
okay, if it's the minister. No, I'm just joking.
You're funny.
But usually, yeah.
I'm a hugger.
Okay.
I'm a hugger.
All right.
Yes.
There you
I
go.
am a hugger.
Well, thank you again. And if anybody wants to get in contact with you, maybe they want to solicit some of your works, how can they contact you?
Yes, so you can reach us at info@flemingwaysolutions.com. That's our email address, or via phone, 588-0026. And you can follow us on Facebook as well, Fleming Way Solutions BV. And
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank
Ladies
you so
101, the
much.
station with attitude, super duper morning show. We got birthdays coming up next.
Clap your hands.